Today we're making a fantastic chicken soup and you are just gonna love it. So let's get cooking. Here are the ingredients that we're gonna use today for our chicken soup. I'm gonna be using some chicken broth, and for my chicken I'm actually using a rotisserie chicken that I got from our local H-E-B grocery store. We're gonna use some chicken bouillon cubes also. Over here we're gonna have some chopped carrots, some chopped celery, several garlic cloves, and a little bit of butter. And I will put all of the measurements for all of our ingredients in the description section below the video. We're also going to be using some egg noodles. I like to use the wide egg noodles. You can also use extra wide noodles. Over here for our seasoning, we're going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to be using some sage. I had this out in our herb garden, so we're going to be chopping up some sage. We're also going to be using some rosemary. We've got some salt. I like to use this Himalayan salt. We've got some coarse ground black pepper, and then just a little bit of crushed red pepper. And for our pans, I'm going to be using a skillet to saute the vegetables. And also I'm going to be using a pot over here for the soup. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of butter in my skillet. I'm just going to put this, you can see, I'm just putting this on about medium. We're going to melt the butter, and then as soon as I melt the butter, I'm going to put in my veggies. I'll be putting in here my carrots and my celery. So our butter is doing good, it's melting. So let's go ahead and put in our celery. That's looking good. So I think now we'll go ahead and put in our carrots. And we're just going to mix all these up. We want to coat them really good with that butter. And after I get them coated really good, I'm just going to flatten them out, and I'm going to let them sit here and cook for a few minutes. I think these have been cooking now for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I am going to go ahead and take my garlic and my garlic press and go ahead and put my garlic in. Now we have our garlic, and we're just going to mix the garlic up in here really well. I turned the heat up just a little bit, and I think I used about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic today. We like to use a lot of garlic. These cloves, they weren't very big. So you just want to mix that up really well, and then we're going to flatten it back out and let it continue to cook for just a couple of minutes. While this is continuing to saute over here, I'm going to go ahead and get our broth in our pot. And we're going to need about 10 cups of broth. Each one of these right here should be 4 cups. So let's see if it is. Okay, we're all empty, so let's check. Yep, it's right at 4 cups. Here's our second one. We've got 4 more cups, and then we just have 2 cups to go. So that's about 2 more cups, and we're going to keep this handy because we may need to add some more as we're cooking. Let's get the last 2 cups in, and we're going to turn it on and get it going. We'll put that on about medium. There we go. And I just love this pot. We actually Jay got this pot, I think it was at Bed Bath & Beyond. And but I saw one very similar to this on Amazon, so I will put a link for that in the description section below the video. So our veggies over here are looking good, and I'm going to go ahead and take these veggies now, go put them over there in our pot full of broth. Now I've taken the rosemary and the sage, and I have chopped all this up really fine, and I'm going to put some of this in. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking a little bit of that rosemary and sage, and I'm just putting that, sprinkling it across the top. Oh, it smells so good. I might end up using all of it. It smells wonderful. And then I have decided to add something to this recipe. I do that all the time. I'll be cooking and then decide to add something. And what I'm gonna do is, I have some basil, I forgot about it, out in the garden. And I'm going to take just a little bit of that basil, I think, and chop up and also put that in. So here's the basil that I just brought in from the garden. So I'm going to chop this up and we're going to put it in. Here we have our basil, and it's all chopped up now. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And it smells just fantastic. And if you're able to use the fresh herbs, do, because it makes a big difference. And we're just going to let this continue to cook. We'll be right back. Now we're ready to put in our other 3 seasonings that we're going to be using. And I'm just going to use just a little bit of salt. Again, I'll give you some approximate measurements in the description section. I like to just put a little bit of salt in. Just a little bit, not much. Okay. And we're just going to stir that up. Y'all, this is smelling fantastic. Wish you could smell it. And if you're enjoying this and learning something, please pop that little like button. That way YouTube knows you like us. And I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper across the top. And if you click the subscribe button, then you'll know when all of our new videos are coming out for cooking and gardening things and other items. This is doing really good. Looking great. And then in this recipe, I put just a little bit of crushed red pepper. Not a lot, I just put a little bit. Let's let that continue to cook for a few minutes. Now I'm going to take just one of these chicken bouillon cubes, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm just going to drop it in. And we're going to let that soften, and we're going to mix it all in. It just gives it a really good, deeper flavor. And then after that, we're going to taste it and see how we're doing. We may need to add another one. So our soup is looking good. It's tasting good. I tasted it and it smells good, but I think there's something missing that I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in some onions. I have some onions over here that I had chopped up a while back, and I vacuum sealed them, so I'm going to put a few onions in. The onions are in, and I've already tasted it, and that has made the difference. So definitely do not leave out the onions. And now I'm going to bring this to a boil, and as soon as I bring it to a boil, I'm going to put in here my chicken and my noodles. Well, it looks and sounds like we are just about to the boiling point. So I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in first. And yep, there we go. We're boiling. I'm going to put this in. And you want to do at least 3 cups of chicken. That's 2 right there. I'm probably going to end up, you need at least 3 cups. I'm probably going to end up doing about 4 cups. And if I do that, then I may have to add a little extra of the broth. So now let's get the rest of the chicken cut up, and we're going to bring the noodles over. So our chicken is in, and I have started to put in the noodles, and you're going to be using 5 cups. So 5 cups of your wide egg noodles. Okay. There we go. And I am going to need to go ahead and add a little more broth. So I'll just finish up the container that we had. Here we go. So for your recipe, really we need about, I think for today, I ended up with about 12 cups of broth. Oh my gosh, this smells wonderful. It's like I want to eat it. Now that everything is in here, we're going to let this continue to cook for about 15 minutes, and we'll be right back. Well, our soup is all done. It smells wonderful and it tastes great. I can't wait for you to try it. Be sure and check out that next video that's popping up, and I'll see you over there in a few minutes. Bye-bye.